Hello, this is Georgia Box and you're listening to Rare FM. For the next hour, we're going to be joined by a member of the Climate Action Society and we're going to be discussing the upcoming symposium on Friday. So, if you'd like to introduce yourself. Sure.
Hello everyone, I'm Shweta. I'm the Events Division Head at the Climate Action Society. I consider myself a climate optimist. Climate optimist, for two reasons, The first thing is, there was a study that said that the world wouldn't realize what climate change actually is until the half of the world's population dies. And second thing, I personally believe that, there's a very fine line between impossibility and possibility, and that fine line is efforts. And what CAS does is, CAS puts in so much effort so that people realize what climate change actually is. There are so many people who don't even know what climate change is. So creating that awareness, creating that education is what CAS is trying to do right now.
Okay, so who's involved in the Climate Action Society?
CAS is unique in a sense that, we have a weird combination of people. Our team consists of people from various domains like business, you can say climate change also, biology, and so many different domains. All these things, they make people realize that how is their profession linked to climate change. This makes everyone realize that a doctor is a sustainable doctor, a chef could be a sustainable chef. It makes us realize that climate change is not just for climate scientists, it's for everyone out there, even a person walking on the Gao street.
Okay, can you tell us a bit more about the upcoming symposium on Friday?
The upcoming symposium is it's really, really amazing. It's one of the things that we have been really putting efforts to, and it's one of the dream symposium for the President Eliza. She has put a lot of efforts for the symposium. The symposium is again unique in the sense that we have, literally high-profile speakers from different arenas. We have people from BBC, we have people from fashion and different domains. And again, they are going to link how they all are going to link climate change under one umbrella. It's very weird to think that how a different domain could be linked to climate change. For example, maybe people from fashion. How is climate change related to fashion? This could be a question that could have bothered many people walking out there. So it's a very unique symposium where we have people from different combinations that are all going to link climate change under one umbrella.
Okay, so in terms of reaching out to different disciplines, how do you think that, what advice would you give just in general for everyday life changing, the way you approach sustainability?
Approaching sustainability is not that, just one person cannot approach sustainability. I often feel that it's the 7.5 billion people on the earth who have to together approach sustainability. Maybe, climate scientists or many people who are educated enough to know what climate change is, they know certain steps to approach sustainability, but half of the world's population don't know what sustainability is. And they are actually living in that zone. Ignorance is bliss. So with CAS, what we try to do is we try to organize different conferences, we try to organize different meetings, and we have different events lined up. We have recently we organized movie nights where after the movie we try to discuss what climate change actually is, and at that point we try to tell people that how we can be more sustainable. And that's what the symposium leads to. This could give everyone who walk out of the symposium a thought that what can I do? And that what can I do is a very important question, because every time when we hear about climate change, all we hear about is that in XYZ place there was a tsunami, in XYZ place there was a flood, but we rarely hear about what can I do. So that could leave you with a question, what can you do?
So what do you actually hope to achieve from the symposium?
We just want that when people just walk out of the symposium, they leave the symposium with a question in their mind that what can I do? And that what can I do is what President Eliza has been trying to do, and what all of us have been trying to do, creating awareness and trying to, make a very positive impact on this planet. Because the planet has given us so much, the air, the water, the land. It's very precious, it's very unique. And doing something for it is really something that could, get peace to your heart and souls. And if by the symposium we just motivate even a single person, it'll be a great, great victory on our part. So just leave with the thought that how can you go more towards climate, combating climate change, basically, on a personal level.
Okay, so I understand you're studying for a master's in
climate change,
right? So how do you think that your own perception of climate change has itself changed since undergoing your master's degree?
My own perception, because if I talk about myself, when I came from India to study this course, people in India, my relatives and everyone, just told me that, are you gonna do weather forecasting? So just breaking that myth that climate change is not weather forecasting is more than that. If we see the present scenario, if we see the increasing cases of cancer, or if we see the increasing diseases or any other thing, everything is related to climate change. It's just that we don't know that whatever is happening is due to climate change. So what I personally want to do is I just want to bridge the gap between the climate scientists and the common people, and that could be done via communication only, just making them realize that climate change matters to you. It's if it's not mattering to you right now, it will matter to you in the coming years.
Yeah, certainly. So do you think that UCL is sustainable? How do you view UCL in regards to climate change?
UCL has done so much. Like, we have different sustainability societies in UCL. We have the Climate Action Society, and we have definitely many other societies, and we all are working like together to make it more sustainable. We cannot say at any point that UCL has reached the 100% sustainability level, because when we say something has been achieved, we just stop at that point. Sustainability is a dynamic process, and societies like Climate Action Society are just trying to achieve more and more via this.
Yeah, I understand. So what does the future actually hold for the Climate Action Society?
Climate Action Society has I think it has a very bright future, because the society itself, it does not follow the perception of just moving alone. It follows a perception of taking everyone along and moving. It follows a perception of educating everyone, and when you educate people, they understand what it is and they move forward with you. And when we have the team that we want to move forward with, we'll surely combat the small challenges. And we don't say that we're going to do something big, but combating small challenges, we want to do something that could make a bigger impression.
Okay, so can you elaborate more on the word action in Climate Action Society?
The word action actually, what means to us is awareness and education. People, as I said, that half of the people don't know what climate change is. Just telling them climate change is happening, climate change is real, and they're like, what is climate change? Just explaining them that this is climate change. There are so many movies, I'll tell you, there are so many movies on climate change. It was a screening that we did for 2 movies. One was Leonardo's movie, I guess, Before the Flood. And after the movie, we had a very nice discussion where we actually got so many questions. We answered so many questions of what climate change is. Even if I say I have a friend, she's doing a PhD, but even she does not know what climate change is. So when educated people who know what climate change is, how can we expect the common person to know about it? So creating the actual awareness and creating the actual understanding what climate change actually means is very important. And the second important thing that I feel is very important is making every person realize that what climate change means to them, what climate change could do to them as a person.
Okay, that's great. So do you think that it comes from a place of ignorance, just not knowing what climate change is? Or do you think that educated people that know about climate change choose to ignore it for their own selfish interest?
I think that it's both the things. It comes from ignorance, and it also comes from educated people often ignore this, because I think the 2 things could be again because at what level we are right now, we are not facing the direct impacts of climate change maybe, but so many farmers and so many people at the the primary people who face the climate change, they're actually facing the wrath of climate change right now. But people like us, we haven't just faced directly climate change right now. So until and unless, as I said, that study which said that until and unless half of the population will die, people won't understand what climate change is. But we cannot risk that. Just imagine, your family flowing away in tsunami water. Just imagine that happening. Mm-hmm. And that gives me fear, that gives me shock. I cannot do that. And to not let that happen, we have to do something.
So what actually will happen if we just choose to ignore climate change?
If we just choose to ignore, the earth will be nowhere. The planet will be dead, and it actually will be. But then yes, I said I'm an optimist. I really trust in people who just come up with new innovation, new ideas, because it's a human brain. So many years ago, no one believed that we will be flying in airplanes, but we are. So I think innovation comes with education, and when you educate people, a lot of innovative ideas will come, and we will be able to fight climate change.
Okay, so going back to the symposium, who exactly is going to be attending the symposium?
We have a lot of speakers. There are some speakers. There are some high profile guests. So if you want the exact details of the speakers, we have it on our website. We have it on the newsletter. Mm-hmm. So you can refer to that there. And we are a lot of guests for the networking events where you have a nice opportunity to ask them what they think about it, or what are their view about it, and that in turn helps us frame like what they think, and then trying to see like where we go wrong, and like in that.
Okay, so I understand that there are going to be people from the BBC there, people from the UN. How exactly did you reach out to these people?
Our team has been a biggest support system. We have been trying to constantly meeting people that we have the symposium coming up, would like to be a part of it. So like we have done a lot to reach out to those people. Even there were some speakers who were really interested, but they couldn't attend because of their prior engagement with something else.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how we reached out to so many people, and all of them were really supportive. Some of them I remember even texted back that this is what we need right now. So yeah, that's when such established people say that this is what we need right now. It gives us a pat on our back that yes, we are in the right direction.
Yes, and I understand that UCL is the first university to actually establish a climate action society that reaches the levels that are needed to combat climate change. What do you think other universities can do?
I think that other universities have their climate action bodies, but it's just that all the universities just needs to all the universities teams need to be collaborative with one approach, and they all need to come together, because it's all about tackling climate change is all about integration, be it integration between different sectors, be it integration between different societies. And the Climate Action Symposium that's happening right now, it's a collaboration of many different societies across the universities from UK. Mm-hmm. So it's very unique in that sense, because it's bringing all the societies under one umbrella, making them think that what climate change means to them.
Mm-hmm. And for those people that don't know about the Climate Action Society but would like to get involved, how do they go about doing that?
You can go to our Facebook page, or you can message us back, and there's a complete form about it. You can fill in the form, or you can email us and you can get in touch with us. We'll just let you know how to get more involved with the society.
Okay, and to give people a little snippet of what's going to come on Friday, what exactly will we be discussing in the symposium? Can you give an overview, please?
It's basically a sustainable symposium where, as I said, there are people from different domains. They all will be discussing their viewpoints in sustainability. So it's very it's very what I can say. It's very amazing to listen that what are their views on sustainability, because obviously different domains, different perspectives, and how all of them think about sustainability is a different thing. And I'm really excited to listen what they think about it.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds wonderful. Is there anything that you'd like to specifically tell the listeners today about climate change? Anything that really stands out to you that you feel like people are lacking in knowing?
I just feel that we need to be optimistic, and we need to move together, because it's not it's not a country, it's not a continent that can fight climate change. It's we 7.5 billion people who can fight climate change together, and that is what fighting climate change is. And the last thing is, climate change is a fight that we are fighting for people, and people might never understand what we're doing for them, but it's all about doing and doing.
That's great. Thank you so much.